The world's best jet ski races are here under the Spanish sun in Costa Brava, Catalonia for round 4 of the P1 Aquacross Euro Tour presented by Experience Kissimmee. Oh, and I'm missing one small detail. It's the final. Are you ready for some Aquacross action? Visit in 2017, we're back here in Port Balis in San Andrés de Llavaneres, just 35 kilometres north of Barcelona along the coastline. Away from the hustle and bustle of the big city, there are beaches on either side of the harbour to enjoy the sun. For those of you that like to immerse yourself in culture and history, the Port Balis Marina was opened in 1974 and enlarged and refurbished in 1992. This fabulous port connects some of the most famous routes along the Mediterranean. The view is just absolutely breathtaking, it really is. As you can see, Port Balis is the perfect location to host the finale. In just 48 hours time, right here on this very beach, we will be crowning our 2018 P1 Aquacross Euro Tour champion. But first, let's recap on the season so far.
The Aquacross Euro Tour opened on the Mediterranean in Les Sens-sur-Mer, where Frenchman and Kawasaki rider Alex Barret took a hat-trick of wins over Spain's Jordi Thomas and fellow Frenchman Thomas Favellini. Staying in France, the tour moved to the Normandy coast and the town of Agon-Coutainville, where a no-show from Barret left the door open for Thomas and Favellini to go head-to-head. The Spaniard reigned supreme. Round 3 took us across the English Channel to Minehead in Great Britain, where the local champion Philip Pope took 3 straight wins. Jordi Thomas crashed out in race 3, which gave the championship lead to Favellini.
Last year, Thomas Favellini announced himself on the scene with victory in debut in the Pro Series, although it was Joe Harvey that would claim the 2017 title.
We've worked and checked everything we could on the ski. We're confident, but we can't be 100% satisfied. I feel it's going to be okay. Yes, there's a bit of pressure, but after all, the sea is the same for everybody. I'll try to route smooth, smart, and we'll count points at the end of the weekend.
Last year I had a terrible injury really. I mean, it shattered my ankle and broke my leg. But to be honest with you, I'm quite looking forward to going racing. I mean, I'm enjoying being here in the sunshine. The conditions are incredible for me. So to be honest with you, I'm hoping to try and make up for some lost time and hopefully get on that top spot on the podium. And I mean, this year, I think we've took it step by step really. I mean, it was touch and go whether I was actually going to be on the ski this year. I mean, the doctor said it would be 12 months before I even walked, and I was back racing 6 months to the day after my injury. So I mean, for me, it's all been a learning curve. I mean, I'm back somewhere near strength-wise. I'm still not quite 100%, but I'm confident and I'm comfortable on the ski, so we're ready to give it a go, yeah?
It's been 2 months and a week since my injury in England. I still have some pain in my foot, my muscles, but I hope it won't be too much for an uneasy race.
Por culpa de la caída en Inglaterra,
I was first after 2 rounds and now I'm second in the championship, so I'll do my best to get a good result on the 3 races here and win the championship. I'm very pleased to be here, near my hometown in Barcelona. It's a good advantage for me because all the spectators and my family are here to support me. I hope to make a good race.
Just 3 races remain of our 2018 season. Now more than ever, every point counts. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Here's race 1.
Thanks very much, Amy. Let's take a look at the race course then. The riders will be entering from the northeast along the coast and into a double left-hander before heading back the way they came and into another double left-hander. A sharp right will take them into the technical section by the beach. The course is about 1.8 kilometres in length, with the addition of the penalty buoy, of course, to be taken if you miss a mark. These are perfect aquacross racing conditions and the toughest of the season so far. The riders will require a lot of stamina and strength to ride in these conditions. We're waiting for the riders to reach their muster point. 1 kilometre run to the first turn. The riders will have to complete 3 times 30-minute races, plus 1 lap this weekend. A lot of work to do. 1 race today, 2 tomorrow. Start looks good. As you can see though, it is choppy. On board Mikel Legal. And he gets the hammer down, looking to the left-hand side to see if there's anybody appearing on the left. And I think there's a faster ski both from the left and the right-hand side, but so hard to keep the ski in the water in these choppy conditions and therefore keep the propulsion. That is Thomas Fabellini shooting ahead for the 287 rider, looking good. Rough water, decent wind, and Fabellini has the advantage. Remember, he's only 7 points separating him from the local favourite Jordi Thomas. So every point will count in the 3 races that we have this afternoon. Coming from the outside line though, might have a challenge for the lead. This is Joseph Harvey. Harvey on the outside line though, and get a lot of chop from Fabellini on the inside, so we've lost some ground there. David Huddleston was also involved. And then Jordi Thomas is about 5 or 6 back, I think. And in this chop, with that hurting ankle, it's going to be even worse for the local rider. Every impact is so brutal. Mikel Legal looking to the left-hand side. I think is on the outside line of any marks. Oh, and big impacts in the water. Great shot of the riders making their way back down towards the north end of the course, battling the oncoming waves and wind there. Just look at the skill required to keep the ski in the water and to get it to turn. Fabellini leaves Joseph Harvey and Dave Huddleston. Huge air from the skis. Back with Fabellini looking very much in control. Goes into another of the left-handers. He is really pushing, isn't he? Trying to get an advantage over Joseph Harvey. One of the marks completely blown over, and we've got somebody stopped. That is Thomas. Oh, he's hit the buoy, we think. Lost valuable time, the ski stalling. But that is a huge amount of time lost. Here is Fabellini. Clear water ahead of him. Actually doesn't look too bad this way, does it? Not too many white horses, not too many broken waves. And certainly on the helmet, it seems very smooth, but certainly underfoot it will not be. Here's Joseph Harvey then. And you can see how different the conditions are for Harvey in the chop. Trying to keep the ski in the water to add to the propulsion, trying to stay out of the chop of Fabellini. Look at the body position that he needs to get right over the front of the ski to keep the ski balanced. So that's the first 2. Here's third position, Dave Huddleston, sitting down, and that is evidence that perhaps he's just been battered around a little bit too much, feeling a little bit too tired. These are so physically and mentally demanding, and he's being closed down by Jordan Lambert. And Lambert looks a lot better, a lot stronger on the Yamaha. On board with Mikel Legal. And Legal has Huddleston on the inside, which means somewhere out of camera shot, Jordan Lambert has moved himself up into third position. And Legal is thinking he will get up into fourth position. On that left-hand side is Huddleston, back marker on the right-hand side. And here are the three together, skipping through the waves. Actually, a nice little huddle of skis. Meanwhile, Fabellini looking beautiful through the water. Needs as many points as he can to keep that distance between him and Thomas. And that advantage. Big air from Fabellini there. And he's slowing down. Oh, Fabellini has a problem. I think that's a technical problem with Fabellini's ski. And there on the right-hand side as Harvey takes the lead then for Britain. Harvey wasn't that far behind. Trying to listen to see what might be said, but the championship leader is DNF'd on the first race here of the weekend. 2 more races to go, but will the ski even be repairable for Sunday's races? Jordy Thomas making his way past Dave Huddleston, who's just fading as this race has gone on. That puts him back up into 5th position. He would have seen Fabellini, and that would have inspired him to push on. Not actually far behind Lambert and Legal either, is he? Well, that's not good news for Jordan Lambert. Lambert was up into 2nd position with Fabellini retiring, and he's had to take the penalty marker. Here is Fabellini. Oh, he's got it going again. Great work from the Frenchman. Whatever that problem was, it was fixable on the water, and that's good news both for today's race but also for the rest of the weekend. Mikel Legal there on board, the pro rookie, feeling the heat from Jordy Thomas. Plenty of airtime for both of the riders, nothing between them except experience. Oh, and a lot of water, a lot of wash being thrown up into Legal's face. He'll have to back out the throttle, and that has put Thomas in ahead of him. Still pushing on though. He's still just about ahead. He's managed to find space, and a great little battle for what's becoming podium positions. Past some back markers. Thomas ahead of Legal, and finally perseverance pays off. Looks to the inside and makes it happen. Little mistake there from Legal, and Thomas has made that position up. You can hear the local commentator go very, very excited. So here it is then. Harvey, Thomas, Legal. So Thomas has moved himself up to 2nd position, with Lambert dropping back after taking a penalty and Fabellini with his mistakes. Meanwhile, Harvey's still on his feet. White flag means the last lap. Is anything going to change in this last lap? They're still so close together. Coming towards the line then. Quite far out, away from the wash from the back markers. We go on board with Joseph Harvey, who just gets another smash of water in the face. But towards the line, and Joseph Harvey, the reigning European champion, has taken victory. What a phenomenal accomplishment after suffering a potential career-ending injury. The very same location just 1 year ago. Thomas picks up 20 points, Legal 17, Lambert 15, and Thomas Fabellini 14. 6 points of difference between Thomas and Fabellini. Therefore, 1 point going into the final day of competition.
Joe, it's great to have you back here in Port Balis. You've just taken the win in race 1. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel pretty good, to be honest with you. I mean, it's beautiful conditions, beautiful sunshine. I'm not going to lie, my arms are a bit tired now. It's proper extreme conditions out there, some real strong wind, some real big swell, and Made for a really good race actually, to be honest with you.
So I know a lot of riders actually may struggle in this condition, but you prefer it, don't you?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I do prefer the big swell. I enjoy a bit of air time. I mean, it takes its toll on the body. I mean, it really separates the weaker riders from the faster boys, so for me, it's a bit more of a challenge. Yeah.
What a great start to the finale we've had here in Port Balis. Lying third in the championship, Joe Harvey secured a first place finish in race 1. But it's not over yet. Don't go anywhere because we'll be back tomorrow with more Aquacross action. See you then. Welcome back to Port Balis for the final of the 2018 P1 Aquacross Euro Tour presented by Experience Kissimmee.
So before we head into the second pro endurance race, let's take a look at what's been happening in the sprint classes this weekend. Britain's 23 Simon Gill wrapped up his second consecutive sprint title by winning the two-stroke ski class. Gill has dominated both here and in the UK for the past 2 years and has had to concede the Port Balis victory to Frenchman Maxime Fasset, who edged out Gill with some intense racing for the overall win of the weekend. Spain's Pedro Toro rounded out the top 3.
Simon, you've won British two-stroke and four-stroke and the European two-stroke with us here at Aquacross, not only this year but last year too. It doesn't get much better than that really, does it?
No, it's brilliant to do this in the Aquacross series. Can't ask for any more, really.
What are your plans in the off-season then? How are you going to prepare for next season?
I've got a few races lined up, big races to go to in different series. So we'll be training there and then we'll train all through the winter, ready for what Aquacross can bring us next year.
Staying with the ski class but moving up to the pro sprint division, the battle between Frenchman Jeremy Vogelmuth and Brit Harry Robinson had raged all summer. Vogelmuth had the edge, but a strong entry meant a victory would be hard fought. When the spray settled, Vogelmuth, despite finishing third on the weekend, took the title.
Yeah, the season was really good for me. It was really exciting with Harry Robinson, a lot of beautiful battle on water. It was a really good organization by P1 AquaX, so I'm really happy and I want to thank you for the organization. I want to thank to my family and all my sponsors. And yeah, thank you everybody and I hope to see you next year. Bye bye.
Italy's Andrea Guidi reigned supreme in the testing conditions of Port Balis, taking 4 out of 4 wins, but Florian Fontin from France pushed him all the way. The title, however, went to Frenchman Jeremy Vogelmuth, with Britain's youngster Harry Robinson taking second and fellow Brit Steve Combach in third.
Yesterday we saw Joe Harvey battle the huge waves to take the win in race 1, followed by Geordie Thomas. Thomas Favellini led the way, but due to a mechanical issue, he secured a 5th place finish. The pressure is on for our Aquacross racers as the weekend continues. So 2 races remain. As you can see behind me, it's much flatter out there today, which could change everything. This is Aquacross and anything could happen. It's time to turn up the heat. Here's race 2.
A new day and very different conditions. The wind has dropped, the seas have calmed, which no doubt will be welcomed by the riders that were feeling rather bruised after yesterday's encounter. The riders getting ready with little wave from Dave Sinnen, who is competing in the AM 300 class this weekend. Silicius finished third in the class yesterday, behind Carl Lofthouse and Claude Vangsbeck. The riders get a few warm-up laps before heading out to the start of race 2. Beautiful view over the Mediterranean this morning from the aerial alien drone. On board with Joe Harvey, who'll be looking to back up yesterday's win with another today. All trying to find their space, all trying to find a little bit of clean water. David Silicius pushing forward ahead of many of the riders as we go racing for race 2. After finishing 5th yesterday, having succumbed to a problem, Thomas Favellini really needs to push on. Favellini already with the whole shot, as we saw from yesterday, and just look how different the conditions are, how flat the water is, and allowing that ski to sit in the water. They can have a lot more fun today. On board with Joe Harvey. Not a great start from him. The Kawasaki has a disadvantage in speed over the Yamahas and Sea-Doos, and those tend to perform better in the flatter conditions, whereas Kawasaki likes to cut through the heavy chop. This a 30-minute plus 1 lap race, but the clock doesn't start until the first riders come through the start and finishing line, which means riders have to complete 1 lap before the clock even starts. On board with Michele Colasanto. Second place, regular on the AquaX US Tour, but also competes here first time in Licencio-Mer and now here in Port Balis. Behind him, the rookie Michael Lagale, and their silhouette showing clearly the different riding styles there between the two riders. Easier to sit down in the flatter conditions. You need the legs a bit more when it's a bit more choppy. Back at the front, Thomas Favellini already has a decent gap over the following Pap. Colasanto comes through in second place with Legal in third, but under attack there from the Briton Richard Cable. Jordi Thomas sitting in 5th position, Lambert in 6th, and Harvey all the way down in 7th position. They'll stream through. Plenty of riders, both in the pro classes at the front, but also the AM classes further behind. We go on board with Jordan Lambert. He's a regular on this tour. Finished 4th yesterday after taking that penalty buoy, and that was actually a season high for him. So he'll be looking for a podium today. Just outside the top 3 right now, but a long 30-minute race. You know anything can happen. Down the back straight once more with Richard Cable, who's coming under pressure from Jordi Thomas. Jordi looks like he's got the speed advantage, but spending more time in the air. Richard on the outside seems to have a better, cleaner water. They're still side by side, still fighting. I think Thomas is going to get this done eventually. Sometimes it's the momentum around the outside that helps, rather than trying to cut a tight line on the inside. Right now, though, there is no catching Thomas Favellini. Favellini can smell that title, even if the points gap went down yesterday. He does not want to let anybody pass, and he's lapping most of the field in these early stages. Michele Colasanto. This tight line round the buoy. Just look how much easier it is on the body riding in these conditions rather than what we saw yesterday with the chop. Still side by side. Some work to do as they try and get past some of the back markers. Always very difficult to work out who's ahead of who. On board with Joseph Harvey. Harvey in the mix. Winner from yesterday. You see, once you're stuck behind others like this, their chop, their waves, their spray will slow you down. Colasanto maintaining that second position under pressure from Legal. And as Legal slows to make the corner, Thomas sees his chance and goes down the inside. Thomas right in the pump wash of Mikel Colasanto. The time ticks down. A great ride from the Spaniard in front of his home crowd. Let's see if he can get past the Italian. Surely it won't be that hard. Here we are with Colasanto, and round the outside comes Thomas, just with more momentum and more strength and physique in the later part of this race. That was a beautiful pass, an easy pass really it looked like. Favellini though is well ahead. Thomas has got up to second. That means 7 points adrift if the positions stay the same. Harvey continues to make headway as well.
Y 2 segundos después hace el paso al vencedor del día de ayer, el británico Joseph Harvey con la cagua número 64.
Very difficult to pick out exactly who is who and what is what in this low morning sun. Legal making his pass. Colasanto into third position. Great ride from the pro rookie. Really impressing here. And of course he'll pick up the AM200 title this weekend as well after a dominant performance. Here he is on board the Yamaha. So Favellini, Colasanto and Thomas. Positions have changed then, which means Thomas has dropped down to third position. And there is Favellini once more. So with Legal free, Richard Cable is now applying some pressure to Colasanto. But we'll have Joseph Harvey behind. But not too far behind is Favellini, about to lap the field. On board with Harvey, trying to find that way through. There's Favellini on the left-hand side. Horrible conditions for Joe Harvey to try and keep the throttle pinned. Favellini's made his way past the whole of the back markers. And now we'll come to pick up that last lap flag, that white flag held by the starter's boat. Unbelievable performance by Favellini in this race, maintaining that same pace throughout the whole of the 30 minutes. And he's going to be mighty pleased with the result. But it doesn't secure him the title at all. One more race remains. Can he do it? Look, he can really back off now on this final lap. Lap of honour, really. Favellini's done it. So far, we've had 3 different winners at 3 different rounds with 3 different makes of personal watercraft. And just 7 points separating the 2 front runners. The 21-year-old Thomas Favellini from Sète in France and the local hero, Jordi Thomas from Pacos here in Spain.
So it was an incredible battle between Thomas Favellini and Jordi Thomas. Incredibly close racing, but it was Favellini who took the win. AquaX has 2 classes, Enduro for the wide sit-down skis and Sprint for the stand-up or single-seaters like the Sea-Doo Spark.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I've nearly won all the races of this season, so I really enjoy on my ski. I would like to thank everybody is behind me, my mechanic, my team, my friend. Everybody helped me and my ski have just run perfectly all season. So next year I will be fighting on another category, maybe World Pro. So I would like to say thank you for AquaX, and next year I will be there again.
You sustained quite a severe injury to your ribs here yesterday, but you're back out there racing today. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was a very bad crash on the big wave. I have managed to finish the race. The second race I have drive very slowly and try to preserve for today. Today the water was flat, so I quite enjoy it and I've put some gas and finished second and sixth on the second moto. So it's not too bad. I was there to win the championship, so now it's done and really happy.
So it all comes down to this. One question remains. Who's going to become our 2018 champion? The wait is over. It's time for the big finale. Over to our commentator for the final race of the season.
One final battle, one final 30-minute encounter between some of the best in the world. And the crowd are starting to gather. As you can see, they're a little bit offshore. And, interestingly, the wind has picked up since this morning. So, slightly choppier conditions for our riders. It's Thomas versus Fabellini, though. 7 points the difference, as it was when they came here at the start of the week. And Thomas in that number 2 position, chasing down Fabellini, who has been the best at starts throughout the weekend. On board with the Belgian, Claude Van der Beek. Currently sits second in the AM300 Championship and finished second in race 1. Took the win in race 2 over Karl Lofthaus. So the pack exit the first turn. Richard Cable on the outside, slightly ahead of Legal, with Thomas just dropping back on the inside. Jordan Lambert also in the mix. On board with Thomas Fabellini. As you can see, no one ahead of him. Clear waters. Legal with a few people to his left-hand side, and looks a little bit choppier as well, being bounced around. But for me, Legal is up into second position. As we said, slightly choppier than this morning. The skis spending a bit more time in the air. And that will really test the physical strength of these riders after 2 days of action, especially on that first day with really choppy conditions. This morning was fine, but it's back to chop again. Legal maintaining that second place. A real battle though for third between Thomas and Cable, and Joseph Harvey also in the mix. Fabellini, Legal in second position, and Thomas in third position. And then coming to fourth position, looks like Cable and Harvey on the outside line there. Trying to find a little bit of smoother, cleaner water. Drag race down that 1 kilometre back straight between Harvey and Cable for fourth. Harvey's that inside ski, trying to get stand a bit more central on the ski, over the nose. And you can see how different it looks when you're up in the air as to when you're on the ground. Harvey has made that move stick. Back with Legal for second place. Thomas isn't far behind. There he is. And definitely pushing on. Rougher conditions should help Harvey on that Kawasaki. There he is, just the back of shot. Because it's a heavier hull, it sits in the water better. More stability. Doesn't get bounced around as much. There. This will be another good one from our race 1 winner. On board with Jordi Thomas. Looks like he's got company with Harvey making a pass. Yeah, pushing down the inside and then giving him a face full of spray as well for company. That's not good news for Jordi Thomas and his championship aspirations. But remember, breaking his ankle, hurting his foot. This is the conditions where that foot will be giving him pain, especially after Saturday's action as well. Fabellini, Legal and Harvey. Harvey on that left-hand side of the screen, looking for cleaner water. Cuts back in just a little bit later, and I reckon Harvey could be moving himself out of the second position here. To go on board with Legal. I think Legal will be looking over his shoulder to see exactly where Harvey is. He skis capable of 80 miles an hour. Constantly moving surface, not like a road that you know is going to be smooth. The bumps are different every single straight, every single corner, every single lap. Such a challenge for these riders. Harvey now breathing distance of Legal, and look at the extra speed. Oh, there's a problem. There's a problem. And Harvey stopped. That's a disaster for the Brit. Legal stays in second position, and Jordi Thomas inherits a spot. Now Legal has Thomas in his rearview mirror. Legal starting to look fatigued. It's a huge jump in horsepower between the AM200 class and the Pro Enduro category, and it takes time to get sorted. A sad scene there. Joseph Harvey's season comes to an end with the Experience Kissimmee racer en route for the overall victory, had he stayed where he was. After 1 year ago, though, his injury, he'll be happy to have an injury-free season and to move up. Build for 2020. Fabellini still on course to take the win, and therefore the 2018 AquaX Pro Enduro title. He has ridden flawlessly all weekend despite the mechanical blip that he suffered in race 1, managing to get away with that. Just look how much easier it is. It's coming up the inside of a back marker here. Getting pretty close between the two of them. Oh, dearie me. Backmarker making a mistake right in front of Fabellini. That could have been disastrous. Thankfully, they're both okay. They both get away with it. Now, looks like Jordan Lambert has picked up his pace, moving ahead of Richard Cable and closing in on Legal. Lambert, like Cable, riding the Yamaha FX. Same engine as the GP800, except it's longer and more stable. And therefore, in these conditions, much, much better. Sun's out for Fabellini with just a couple more laps to go. Fabellini ahead of Thomas, Lambert now in third position. Thomas has done all that he could, but at the start of the race, Fabellini getting that whole shot gives him this kind of water, this smooth conditions for those couple of laps that are all important to build the gap. The white flag is flying. That means one more lap for Fabellini. In fact, Jordan Lambert is pressuring Thomas for second position. Thomas is struggling right at the end of this race, as you perhaps might expect with the physical nature of this choppy water here in Port Balis. Just one turn left then for Fabellini. Big jumps from Fabellini. Really enjoying the water. And he comes to the line. He knows that this victory is his, this title is his. He's done enough. And Thomas Fabellini from France is the AquaX Pro Enduro champion. Not such good news though for Jordi Thomas, who's lost the title and he's lost the second position to Jordan Lambert right at the end of the race. Fabellini has done it. Victory for the Frenchman, both here in Port Balis in Spain and for the 2018 title. Charles dropping down to third in the end. Legal holding on to fourth with Richard Cable in fifth and Harvey DNFing. David Huddleston and Michele Colasanto also having issues. Well, what a lovely place to come and race. Port Balis. Considering it's October, pretty warm conditions. Bit of chop, bit of challenge. Lots of experience in sailing racing. They've put on a fantastic show for the P1 AquaX Euro Tour. And the Euro Tour will be back here in 2019 as well.
Carl, you're our 300 tour winner. How do you feel? You must feel amazing.
Amazing, I feel great. It had been a great year, and I had quite a bit of battle, especially with Claude for Belgium. I managed to keep my ski going to Kawasaki, you know what they're like, keep it maintained going, the don't break. Now I'm looking forward for next year. I'm starting to go up to the pro class. That's it.
Impressive. We look forward to seeing you next year. Thanks, Carl.
So Carl Lofthouse then, atop the podium. And the championship standings. The 300 AM champion, 30 points ahead of Claude van der Beek and Phil Howarth. Michael Legal ahead of James Roberts and Graham Roberts in the 200 AM championship. And for the females, we didn't see too much of. It's Christina Garcia ahead of Melody Latz and Cyril Bram. A hurt wrist for Yannick Berthelot on the Kawasaki 15F Championship overall. He beat George Blanche and Frederick Delmes. And with the end of the season, all the various champions being awarded. Harvey back on the podium in third position. Jordi Thomas though in second position, missing out after injury a month ago. Didn't quite have the pace here in his hometown, in home water as well. Fabellini though really was the master. Whole shots on all three races, and that gave him victory here and in the championship. Fabellini ahead of Thomas and Harvey in third position. But it was close between the Frenchman and the Spaniard. Just 14 points in the end. They were a class ahead of Harvey and Jordan Lambert finishing in fourth position. Tim Batt in fifth.
Yeah, so I mean third overall again in the championship. It's good for me. I mean last year obviously winning, so coming third, it's still good as far as I'm concerned. I mean I had a heavy injury last year, so I'm surprised to even be on the ski. I mean it's been another incredible year racing AquaX, backed by Experience Kissimmee. Can't fault it.
I want to say thank you to the P1 AquaX crew for the quality of this series. It's been my first complete year, and I'll definitely race again next year. I'm happy with my second place overall. It could have been better if I didn't crash in my head, but delighted for my first year in the championship and hopefully winning more races for the coming seasons.
La saison
the season has been complicated. I had a mechanical issue on many of the rounds this season, and it was very close in the end this weekend with Spaniard Jordi Thomas. I had a mechanical issue this weekend as well, but fortunately I managed to fix it on the water and I could finish the race and get some points. I'm so happy to take this title. I'll be here next year and put my title back into play. And why not? I'll win again.
Well, that's it. Thanks for joining us on what's been an action-packed season filled with thrills and spills. Thomas Favellini is our 2018 champion. From all of us at the P1 Aquacross, we'll see you next year.